Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Belgrade, the capital of Serbia and the host city of the land finals for the World Championships in CSGO 2016. And now welcome to the e-frag studio. This is e-frag TV. My name is Đorđe. Today, moving on with the European qualifiers, it's the second stage and two matches scheduled for today. Spain versus Bulgaria and the second one, Portugal versus Czech Republic. Your analyst team for today, Rema.
Hey.
And Dusan.
Hello.
Hey guys, but before we move on today's matches, let's see what happened yesterday. Our quick recap of marathon matches versus Hungary versus Estonia. It was 2-0 in favor of Estonia, but the second map gone to triple overtime on that cobblestone. Rema, your thoughts?
Yeah, that was really intense match for Estonia and Hungary. They both played kind of good, then made a few sloppy mistakes, but all in all, yesterday was really great, and congrats to Estonia moving forward. I thought that Hungary maybe has an edge there, but they really showed, as I said, game after game that they're improving, so congrats.
In the second match of the day, Iceland versus Slovenia. Iceland started strong on that Mirage 16-6. We thought it's all over for Slovenia, but they managed to bring it back to 1-1 with a win on Dust2 16-14. And the third map, 22-19 after double overtime. Dusan.
Yeah, I wasn't here to watch it, but I was spectating the game, and I really liked what both teams did, especially Slovenia on that Dust2. And we saw Savy going huge for his team. Unfortunately, he just couldn't carry all the weight, so Slovenia lost. But I mean, it was a good fight, and I think I'm not really sure what's the name of the top fragger for Iceland.
Creeping.
Sorry?
Creeping, I think, or cropping.
Capping.
I think he was
Capping.
Capping.
With a double P, yep.
Yeah, I think he was the guy carrying them last year and carrying them this year.
No, Palibandi was
Oh,
the...
Palibandi,
yeah.
sorry, yeah. And I think, all in all, a great team there.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk a little bit about today's duels. We have Spain versus Bulgaria and Portugal versus Czech Republic. Spain being the seeded team in this second qualifier round. We haven't seen them so far, but Bulgaria kicking out Serbia. And before that, they won against, help me out here, Switzerland.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as you mentioned, they started now in qualifier round 2, and to explain to our viewers how they got here. They won in qualifier round 1 against Luxembourg 2-0. Then they won against Italy in qualifier round 2, and they kind of had 2 wins in groups against Serbia and Netherlands, lost to France and Hungary, and in the playoffs for land they lost to Germany 2-1. So they definitely have a good chance of winning this one and go again to groups and maybe have a chance to qualify again.
Yeah, Bulgaria was playing with different squad against Switzerland, and when it was necessary, they had to bring out the big guns.
Yeah.
Today, let's see what lineup will they bring to the table.
Unfortunately, today they don't have those big guns that they had in that one map against Switzerland. They have Punisher, Nikki, Psycho, Minko or MNK, and NK. 3 guys from B Pro and 2 guys from Headshot BG. Lineup,
Wow.
Yeah, it's not that of a strong of lineup. I mean, Nikki is really a beast, and we always say that he's up there with frag power among players from some tier 1 teams. But all in all, I don't think.
Do you think it's possible for them to win this duel with this lineup?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Spain doesn't have Mixwell, so they have a huge loss there. But they have a loss of 3 great players from MK, which are currently going to Katowice. So that's the reason why they're not playing. But a big loss for them, and we saw what they need. They need those 3 players in the match against Switzerland when they lost 1 map, and they had to bring them in that third map.
But then again, Nikki wasn't playing then. They have a different lineup compared to that one. But do you think this lineup is stronger or weaker compared to the one played against Serbia?
Definitely weaker. I mean, we saw what they did to Serbia. They really showed up, and they really showed why MK is considered to be that tier 1, tier 2 team just on the edge. They're just waiting to get a chance to play those bigger things. But I mean, definitely a weaker lineup today here.
We have players from B Pro, we have players from Headshot BG. Player to watch.
Player
Who do
to
you
watch,
think?
yeah, it has to be Nikki. And we always say that
Yeah.
Nikki is that one player that we always say could play for MK and maybe should play for MK. And he's always fragging for his teams. And I think, yeah, he's the guy that needs to step up in order for Bulgaria to win today.
Okay, moving on to the lineup of Spain. So we're seeing Spain for the first time in this year's qualifier, and let's see what they're bringing to the table.
Yeah, from left to right we have Alex, Soccer, Kairi, Lowell, and Arki. Kairi and Lowell are teammates from Penta Sports, as we all know. They recently added Lowell because he was standing a couple of times for Penta. Now he's playing there. And Alex and Soccer, as we see, they're both playing for Kick in Spain and Arki playing for G-Bots. Interestingly enough, 4 of these players, except Soccer, played for G-Bots at one point in the Spain scene. So that's a nice.
That's a good thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice thing because they. Okay, I think Alex didn't really play with Kairi, but they were under that banner. And I really think that this lineup has a really good potential because they have 4 players from last year. So only Arki didn't play last year for Spain, and Lowell, Kairi, Soccer, and Alex already played, and they put up a good performance, managing to qualify for that groups, losing only 2-1 against Germany. So they had a really good chance of showing up here in Belgrade.
Yeah, obviously they know well each other since they played the last year and they played for the same team back in the days. Do you think that can maybe be decisive in this duel?
Well, definitely, as Dusan said, like the Mixwell is not here because he's in an NA. If he was here, I would definitely give this 2-0 easily for Spain. But all of these players, as far as I know, are really good, and they played Counter-Strike since 2010. Only Arki, if I remember correctly, started his professional career in 1.6 2008 or something like that for my XMG. So he definitely has experience, and he's Alex in Kick is the in-game leader, so he'll probably lead Spain here. Kairi is the AWP player, so we'll definitely see some good performances.
Yeah, it sounds like they're the complete team. Yeah, they have everything. They have an operator, they have an in-game leader, and they've played for a long time. Do you see them as a potential, maybe one of those winners of those 3 slots that can lead them to the LAN finals?
Well,
or at least one of the teams that can challenge those best teams.
Well, they definitely can, because last year, yeah, they lost to France. They were the champions of TWC 16-5, but I don't think they performed that well. France is far better team than Spain. Let's not fool ourselves, but I think
even with this form that French players are showing right now in their teams.
Well, yeah, they play on that higher level. Like, you can't count them out just because they have a bad game against NIP or, I don't know, SK. But they definitely can perform when they need to. And if they come in that all-star team they came last year here, I think that they're again the favorites
there
to
won't be
bring
a question.
And let's not fool ourselves that those French players, I think this vacation, a little vacation that they had, really suited them. We saw Apex dropping, 40 bomb
41.
against 41 against G2. I mean, that's a good performance out of him. And talking about Spain, as he pointed out, and as I pointed out, I just want Mixwell to. I mean, it's not possible, but I think when you said they have a complete team, they are missing kind of that star player, because Mixwell is that star player that they're missing.
The fragger.
And, the fragger, the top fragger, the mad fragger that can go huge. And I think that's the only thing they miss for me. So I can say this is going to be an easy 2-0 for them against Bulgaria. Him not playing today, I'm going to say it's going to be
kind
a tough one.
Yeah. Okay, going straight to the video process. Let's see if we're going to see again like Dust 2, Mirage, Cash, those standard maps.
For Bulgaria, standard ban is Cobble. So
no
against
Cobble.
Serbia, I think they only ban Mirage because they don't love to play Mirage
against
Serbians.
Serbia teams.
So I think we'll probably see them again banning that Cobble. They played Cash, picked Cash 2 times against Serbia, against Switzerland as well. So maybe we'll see that that one you said.
Maybe Overpass.
Okay,
no?
Okay,
Yeah, I
they
mean,
don't like to
Spanish
play.
players are all 1.6
Yeah.
players, and
They
they
know how
love
to
to
play
play
Mirage,
really
yeah.
that Mirage. Spain removes us too.
Okay.
I love this.
Yeah, me too.
I gotta say, I love this.
I
I
think
will
we're gonna
not be
see
surprised
Cash
if they pick Cash here,
Yeah, it's
for,
gonna be-
or Overpass.
Overpass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
They
so
played that overpass against Switzerland.
yeah, and they brought their big guns there.
Yep.
And speaking of it,
Cash.
B Pro has three. I mean,
Yeah,
they have
Cash.
3 players from B Pro, so that's not really a bad thing because they really love to play Overpass as well as their country mates MK. So Cash for
I mean,
Spain.
that's the map they won last year against Germany, so
Yeah.
that's why they would pick it. And Pent, I
Okay.
think, plays Cash good. So
Okay, so
Okay,
Spain is
Nuke.
picking between Train and Nuke.
No,
Oh no,
Nuke
Nuke
is
is banned.
banned.
Sorry, Train
Cobble,
and
I think it's gonna
Cobble.
be Cobble.
Cobble.
Yeah, Train and Cobble.
I
Yeah,
mean, if
it's
they
Cobble.
ban Train, yeah, this is a good choice for Spain. I think if it comes to third map, Spain is definitely going to win. But I'm really going towards Spain here because I think they have a bit more firepower than Bulgaria has right now.
Yeah, we're starting with the Mirage. Is that
Overpass.
Overpass?
Overpass.
Sorry, Mirage was banned first. Starting with Overpass. Your thoughts and well predictions.
Yeah, I'll go with 16 to 12 Spain. And even though they're missing Mixwell, I think they have enough firepower for today's Bulgaria.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go 16 to 10 Spain as well. They started on city side, so I think they can gain
You
momentum.
know that?
Don't forget what you said because you have to count your points.
Yeah, I
Okay.
have two.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the first map is about to start. Spain versus Bulgaria. Overpass. Your casters for today are Mega Man and Scrawny. Let's go live, boys.
Alrighty, guys, thank you very much, George, and welcome back again to the World Championships here by e-frag. My name is Mega Man, and again, joining me today is going to be Scrawny. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Beautiful here, Montreal morning here. Hopefully all is good in your realm as well, sir.
I knew you were Canadian. I could just tell. Oh, you disgust
I'll
me.
apologize, and then that way it's just confirmed.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, Spain versus Bulgaria. We do see a little bit of early aggression here as Overpass is map number 1 for our series, and we will see a push out on B. We do see Alex getting very, very aggressive in this forward position out through the monster pipe. Going to be looking for this player out around the corner, but he's going to fall back from this one. Gets the information that he was looking for, but he's going to go all the way back towards the B-bomb site. Push is actually going to come around from water, short side, and they're a little bit out of position for this one. And there you go, Lowell's down straight away. Alex is long, going to be able to get one and done, where Psycho is able to trade that. Now they've got to deal with Soaker, who's trying to make his way around, but they've got to play the retake now.
Of course, they do have that kit currently on Arky with a smoke as well, so they're not necessarily out of this one just yet, but another nice little tag there. It's going to drop him down to just below 40, and Arky with a headshot to drop NK. Still Punisher trying to engage back with this heaven position, just trying to keep these players at bay as they do burn the clock down again. Need to start to pick up the pace here. Carry going to be dropped out, and there it is. Another frag from Soaker in a second. Beautiful stuff here. We're leaving Punisher down to the 1v2, dancing around that pillar, dancing around the column. He is going to find the other frag. Arky's going to tap the bomb on only 12 points of health. He's going to try to stick it, but it won't pay off, and it's going to be Bulgaria with the pistol round after Punisher manages to clutch out that 1v2, dancing around the smoke, buying himself time, and ultimately clutching it out.
And I think Bulgaria actually read that really, really well. They knew that one player had pushed up on long B, so they just decided to come down through subway and go around through short B to try to catch him out of position. And that's exactly what happened. They were able to isolate the 1v1s on that bomb site and get multiple players in their face. And they end up winning those trade duels, which allows them to get the bomb plant, then they can play for time. It was almost some heroics from Soaker that gets them back into that round, but now we're going to be seeing Nikki actually coming aggressively, but it's a triple stack. And that's one of the things that I love seeing about this map, the interesting boosts, the interesting positions that you can go for. And there's the opening one. They're going to be able to find that. Lowell finds the 5-7 frag, drops that P90 player, but that's the only SMG that's on the board. They're going to be facing down 4 rifles still.
At least a decent start. Obviously, it's still going to be Bulgaria favored in this situation with a couple frags and that flash as well starting to work their way at least through the A side of the map, trying to grab some information. Now, you mentioned that Alex had pushed through Monster in the pistol round, kind of eliciting the response from Bulgaria to rotate down. And they had gone long A to begin with in the pistol round, 4 players, before deciding to rotate down through bathroom after he had gone for that push. So to see them go back towards long A, I think this is maybe somewhere that they're going to be favoring the time being, and NK going to be at least applying some pressure with that flashbang. Again, just going to be kind of indicating that there is presence here for Bulgaria, and immediately another rotation downwards. So we see the same thing that we saw in the previous round, this time with weapons, and they are going to be rotating down into the hands of both Lowell and Arky, who are waiting on this B site patiently with their pistols, but the hit's coming a little bit quick. They're going to hear it coming. Minko gets the first contact, and he's going to get tagged up ever so slightly. Already dropped down to just below 50. Arky from the water as Lowell finds one frag, and yet the bomb's still not down. Psycho's going to try to activate the device, but it will be Carry to find another one, and still Arky just trying to find these deeks. The pistol dealing damage. Lowell with one more. Punisher not able to hang on, and Spain, they are going to jump back into this one as they patiently held onto that B site, bottleneck Bulgaria's push on through, and then penalize them for trying to take those close quarters engagements.
Yeah, now it's just beautiful defense from Lowell too. He gets that triple boost stack, gets that opening pick onto the player pushing aggressively through short B at the beginning of the round. And then they just bide their time, and they play two players in the water pit, just peeking randomly, and he's able to pick up 3 more kills at the end of that round. So beautiful stuff from him, putting that 5-7 to work. Spain's going to tie things up 1-1, and we're going to go into a bit of a bye round from both sides. You can see an AK being picked up. It's going to get tossed around here to see where it ends up. Punisher's going to have that for the time being, but they were throwing it around, juggling it there in the terrorist spawn. But this time around, it's going to be a pretty fortified defensive purchase here. As you can see, all 5 players have rifles on the CT side. Nobody going for any SMGs to try to farm money because they feel like they're probably going to buy back into this one, and that's the right call. So Spain's reading this situation correctly, and we will see where Bulgaria ends up going. You said that long A seemed to be the order of the day, but they keep coming back down towards this B bomb site late in the round. We'll see if they decide to hit A this time around.
I'd like to at least favor this bathroom presence, get some players up at least nearby, see what it is for the defense on the side of the A site. And Arky was just close towards that bathroom door, could have been caught out of position. He will rotate back in after checking long. So again, just trying to keep eyes on towards bathroom. He does have a bit of a spot on the cross, so Minko has to be cautious. But this A hit, or at least if they commit to it this time, it will be a split. 2 coming in from long, 3 coming in from bathrooms, and immediately with that volley of nades, they're going to pick up the pace. But Bulgaria being smoked out of the site ever so slightly here. Arky able to buy some time as Soker finds the first frag through the smoke. Arky again on the site. He's going to find a bomb planter, and that's Minko dropping it within the smoke itself. A very nice hold thus far from Spain, leaving only Punisher to stand as Perry grabs a second, and Lowell cleans things up. So very clean hold from Spain, using that rifle buy to their favor and denying the bomb plant on top of it.
3 out of those 5 kills actually came through smoke. Kyrie with that Galil, he's got the extra firepower there. He's able to just spam that smoke, find 2 kills. Soker from CAT spawn stairs is able to find one on them pushing in towards that bomb site. And a nice hold. No bomb plant, no extra joy, no extra money. Bulgaria is going to be on the back foot. They're going to have to go for the pistol save. They're calling a pause. I'm not exactly sure what this pause is, if it's a tactical or a technical pause. But either way, they're going to take a breather for a second and try to figure out what they want to do. It is pretty early into this matchup, but for the time being, Spain, a dominant past 2 rounds. After looking a little lackluster on that pistol round, it did come down to that 2v1, which was able to be clutched out, but 3 alive the round before in round 2, all 5 alive in round 3. They're going to start building up money, and look at that. I mean, out of all the rifles that they have on the board, 4 out of the 5 of them have been stolen from the terrorist side in the opening 2 rounds.
Yeah, they'll welcome those weapons with open arms, by no means. And I mean, again, they're going to be coming into this one with an advantage. Bulgaria back onto pistols after getting that express purchase. And it didn't quite seem to work out as they tried to take that A site without necessarily rooting out the Spaniards from the back of the site first. And I think that's maybe something that happened when they rotated down to the B site and were denied as well, is they didn't necessarily have a presence on the site before they tried to express lane that bomb plant. And I mean, it makes sense if you're going to want to try to go to the after plant, okay, give up a kill or 2 in the process, but without being able to get that in, obviously their job made more difficult. So very nice holds by Spain, and again, we'll see this passive play coming through, Carey being the most aggressive, and he's not even within the bathroom. So just goes to show the A presence for Spain is very much docile, very much passive. And now Arky's going to find the first engagement with the first frag. Minko on his lonesome out there towards long A. He's going to get caught up with a headshot, and this is just a bit of presence from Bulgaria towards that A site. Meanwhile, the other 4 players all gear out towards B with the bomb. Alex finding the headshot through the wall. Nice little spray down to deny NK, and now the Bulgarians are going to come his way. 3 players in his crosshairs, 3 players on the ground. A 4K for Alex in the round. Cleanly done. Again, a clinical execution.
And this is what the analysts were talking about. They were saying that, you know, Spain's going to have some firepower. When I was casting ACA Premier, I got the chance to cast a lot of matches that had Kyrie and Lowell in them. And these guys, you know, they're definitely quality players. They're showing it right now. Alex in the last round, he's up at 5-1. Lul's at 5-1. Only 2 deaths on the board for Kyrie and Arky. And a little bit of spam getting thrown out here. That's going to connect a little bit. You can see Kyrie's going to be down. He was pushed up fountain towards that A-bomb site, and Sofer gets kind of spammed down. But look at this aggressive play here from the CT side. They're checking out that short pipe. They're going to try to make sure that nobody's pushing around that direction. Smoking it off as well, so there's not going to be any extra aggression over towards that water area. And they've got a couple of players, a couple of Ts that are gathered up outside of that B-bomb site. The bomb actually rotating over towards long B as well, so it looks like it is going to be a pretty telegraphed play towards that B-bomb site with a late lurker coming out from Subway. We'll see exactly how this one pans out because there are 3 CTs over here on this B-bomb site, so this is going to be very difficult for Bulgaria to get into, and they just re-smoked short B.
Not only in the bomb site, but actually within short water as well. So it's going to come down to, of course, Lowell finding his way back. Stoker going to find the first frag through the connector door, but NK again able to trade back here. So Bulgaria doing a good job of keeping themselves relevant in the round. 3 versus 3 as Psycho clears the site. So it's going to be the A players rotating down to try and hold this one at bay. Bulgaria still with presence, but not yet executing fully onto the site. They will employ those smoke grenades, and then now Minko going to be punching in the numbers. So the bomb goes down, and it's going to be down to Carry and Arky to clutch this out. They do still have a smoke and molly with a defuse kit as well, but that op, not necessarily the weapon you want in this situation. Carry's going to be holding the back line as Arky tries to create some space up forward. Again, it's just really Minko who's close to the site. The other 2 players playing it from that short, but the bomb tap's going to elicit a bit of a response. Carry with the first frag, and now all of a sudden the defense is kind of not in their necessarily covered positions. Arky with another refrag, but he has to keep his eyes on short. He will be blind. And NK still just buying time. He has that kit, and it will not matter. NK able to find the shot regardless of walking right through the smoke. So Bulgaria with another one up onto the board, but a very, very close round as both Spain and Bulgaria traded it back into each direction. Very nice short presence where most of that round, at least the fighting in which of the fighting from the round happening there.
I'm actually kind of surprised that Spain didn't win the trade battles over at that B-bomb site. Granted, it was 5-on-3 essentially over there, but I don't know. Early pick though, MNK is going to be able to find Kyrie. That's the op down out of the hands of the CT side. He gets a little bit aggressive, bites off a little more than he can chew, and now we've got a fast push coming towards long A, and you can see there's 3 players down on the B-bomb site still. 2 of them are going to go for information plays here on long pipe, and Alex is going to go back around towards short, but they're going to be looking for this towards the A-bomb site, and they've got to be really careful. Smokes go out, mollies as well. Going to try to hold them off, hold them at bay for the time being, but that push is going to be pretty tough to deal with once it starts to come up. And Psycho with this op, it's a double up setup for the terrorist side now. It's going to be very difficult to actually take this A-bomb site with the firepower that they have because they're going to have to go slow, but nice nade onto Arky. He's going to get knocked down. 54, he's off the board now as Psycho finds that up frag. They've got Lowell over here by Car. He's going to go down to Psycho as well, and now that A-bomb site is lost.
Alex still trying to hold on to it, but of course he's definitely outnumbered, and with Punisher finding the flank player, then they just know that he is, of course, the last man left. So completely smoked out of this position. You can see T-side doing a very good job of at least isolating his positioning. Punisher still trying to keep up some presence, but at this point, Alex knows this round is done. He's going to start to head his way down towards the B site. Now, he should be able to escape with this M4. Bulgaria doing a good job of hanging on to what they have right now. Of course, they were quite invested into this round, and they haven't really been able to get much momentum. So this second consecutive round is going to be great for them, not only with 2 rounds on the board, but 4 players up in this one. Both of those ops going to be saved for the next one. So Bulgaria has a potential actually to slow down the pace of the round in the following one, looking for picks. Of course, the economy for Spain is going to be completely cleared out, other, of course, than Alex's save here, which maybe could elicit a couple pistol drops, but really I think it's going to be Bulgaria, at least with another huge advantage heading forward. Punisher will be another casualty, so that's at least 1 less weapon, and now NK taking a lot of damage from the bomb will be a second easy clear up. Alex doing a fantastic job of that save, and doing actual damage and a high amount of impact right before it ends.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing is, I mean, the economy's not stable on the Bulgarian side. Any guns that he takes away at the end of that round forces the rebuys, keeps the money low. And you look at the reinvestment that's coming out from the CT side, Arky's going to be on a 5-7, but the rest of his team is going to buy up. They've got the op on Kyrie, they've got an SMG in the hands of Soker, and 2 rifles to deal with. And I like this call because they know that the money's not good. They took 3 rifles out of their hands in the last round. So those buy downs are going to keep them very, very low on money. And this pop flash could be on point. Unfortunately, Psycho is too quick. He does get dinked for his troubles, but Alex with one of those, well, the only M4 is going to get taken off the board.
It's going to be a shame. You can see already Spain trying to contest for the weapon, but that's going to cost them 2 more players as Minko's just landing shots there. Superb weapon work thus far from Bulgaria in the round, going to be giving them that 3-man advantage, and of course Carey being the only player left with a primary. Arky, worth saving in this situation, but at the same time, you know those weapons are down on B. It must be very tantalizing, but at this point they've lost the map control, they've lost the site, and already with that bomb being planted, Bulgaria have definitely secured themselves another round. Going to be Spain to hold on to this one. At least trying their best to hold off towards that push, but Bulgaria has been doing a very good job of finding their way into the sites. We saw at the beginning of the round it was kind of denied with those bomb plants not necessarily being activated before they started losing players, but at this point, they seem to be finding entries a lot easier. Mind you, the arsenal on the side of Spain, of course, helping them out, not necessarily a positive factor for the defense to try and hold on with limited weaponry, but again, that will be a factor heading forward because they cleared out their buy here. They went for that full investment, spending everybody down to $50, so they are all reset to 240, minus, of course, Lowell, who still has that extra 50 cash. But other than that, it's going to be Carey with the op, and not a very good position for Spain.
No, it's not. And the big thing about this now is that one round, you saw how impacted the Bulgarian economy was going into that round. Now they're starting to stabilize. Now their lowest money player is NK, who's got $2,600. The rest of them are going to be up over $3,250, and the other three are up over $5,000. So they're going to be fine for another buy down if they lose a round. They're going to have an opportunity into this one with 3 out of the 5 players saving, 1 on head armor and a 5.7 in the AWP in the hands of Kyrie to really start racking up more money. If they want to get that double up, they could probably kill Kyrie and try to get that AWP out of his hands. So this is looking a little bit rough for Spain right now. They looked really good in those, stretch of 3 rounds that they were able to string together. They kept 13 players alive over the course of 3 rounds, which is pretty tremendous, but unfortunately for them, it's kind of come back to bite them in the ass as Bulgaria has really picked up the pace here and continues to get in their face. And now Kyrie going to come under contention. He's at this forward Baptist position, almost hits the collateral. He's going to be able to find one. It's going to be NK down.
Bulgaria had been doing a really good job of playing patiently this round, waiting, of course, for the time to tick before they started the head-on forward. But the moment they make contact with the other team, of course, it is going to be Kyrie with that op. So very well played on the side of Spain to allow the primary weapon to be making first contact. That's going to grab the first frag, and now at least give Spain a small window of opportunity. It's up to them to crack that wide open, but Kyrie, having rotated down towards B, is going to land another shot, and that time it's on to Minko, the fellow opper for the side of Bulgaria, and the bomb carrier. Psycho still with the big green cannon in hand, but now a 2-man advantage for Spain, and with the amount of time left on the clock, they're going to have to express this B site hit. If only Spain wasn't rotating upwards, they would be 5-0. I am mistaken. Bulgaria going to try to take it towards A because Nicky has been able to secure some map site. And look at that. Able to find 1 frag. Lowell, he's denied the rotation into the site, and that's going to be good for Bulgaria. But 4 seconds left, and they will get the bomb plant. Wow, what a rotation.
Barely, just by the skin of their teeth, they're going to be able to find that. And now they're just picking them off one at a time. It's Nicky in the defense of this A bomb site. He's found 4, looking for the ace as well. The last one's down there. That's Lowell, who does have the AWP now. But Nicky on the verge. Punisher is going to be able to steal away the ace, but a nice recovery there from the Bulgarian side. That was a 3-on-5 that they had to get into that A bomb site and get that bomb plant. Nicky being able to get that forward position really puts a kink in the tank for the Spain side as they try to rotate back around. And that is just going to be a beautiful play from him as Bulgaria get their 5th round on the board. Coming into the 9th round, it will be a full buy round, but again, I mean, Spain hasn't really showed us a whole lot on these gun rounds.
Maybe their real chance to change that up, though, to prove us wrong. They're going to get some aggression going in towards that short tunnel again. It's going to be Nicky to find the first, but Lowell able to trade back, and now Kyrie again finding these aggressive op picks. So last time he found 2, and it still wasn't enough for the rest of his team to pull forward, and now this time it's going to be a 4 versus 3 yet again. All 3 players for the side of Bulgaria heading towards B. Of course, the rotation always a possibility as they do have, or at least have an opening towards short. No player contending for that map control at the time being, but Psycho instead just going to start to walk through the smoke, and he hits the timing perfect. Lowell not expecting that to happen. NK going to help out with a headshot towards Alex over the shoulder of Psycho, creating a lot of space here down towards B. Spain going to be rotating into the site, but at the man disadvantage with the bomb already going down, they are in a difficult spot. These smoke covers are going to provide an opportunity for Bulgaria to fall out entirely. Arky going to be starting to clear all the rest of the positions that there could potentially be defenders, but there are none. Psycho will be the front man, and he's spotted with a nade in hand. Again, these players being caught off by the peaks of their opponents, but Bulgaria still doing a good job of holding the line. NK with another frag, and this seals the deal. Kyrie going to be starting to fall back, trying to hang on to that op. He has nothing else to do in this round.
Yeah, and again, I mean, Bulgaria keeps answering all the questions that Spain's asking. This is a beautiful job from them so far, and you know, the analyst desk had a couple of question marks as in regards to how these teams were going to stack up against each other. You know, with Spain not having mixed well, having used some players that they might not necessarily always use this late in the stages. But man, Bulgaria is bringing the heat right now, bringing the noise, and with them keeping players alive the way that they are, you can see Mink is going to have, you know, $10,000 going into this next round. And that's a lot of bank, and with Spain not being able to A, win these rounds, B, drop a lot of rifles into these rounds, that they're just going to continue to force up, continue to buy up, continue to put the pressure on, and Spain is just going to be playing from the back foot the entirety of this half. Kyrie, again, trying to go for those aggressive peaks. You talked about it last round. He was down in Subway. He went for the aggressive fountain peak 2 rounds ago. This time he goes for short B, and he gets punished for it.
I'd say it's a matter of time, though. He had been doing a very good job of creating space, considering he was the only player with that op for, well, I believe 3 rounds now. And 2 doing great jobs at it. So finally he is denied, and that's going to be Bulgaria doing a good job of just waiting for the peaks. We see this again. They were playing a very slow round, kind of reserving themselves and staying congregated towards the fountain / T-spawn areas, waiting for aggressive peaks, and then Kyrie just lies or walks right into their lying arms. So Bulgaria doing a good job of yet again finding an opening pick. Or excuse me, finding it rather than losing it, because it had been them at the disadvantage. Nicky, he's got to be cautious. It will be Soaker to find a refrag for the side of Spain, but again, just denied as they do trade out. Very cleanly done by Bulgaria, and they are going to avoid for the time being this ace site. They have to be cautious because these pistols have worked their way into the bathrooms, and of course that op having been retrieved by Lowell could have been a key play in the round, but now it's going to be Spain with 2 players isolated on the opposite side of the map as Alex tries to toe the line here towards B. Nice 1D to get the ball rolling, and a second onto the bomb carrier. That will create some space and also time for Spain to rotate down. Arky with the Deeg on the flank. He's going to be inside short connector with a chance to put 48 bits of damage onto Nicky. That's all it'll take. He's lit, and he's dead now. 2 versus 1. Spain with a great opportunity created solely by Alex as he did use that Deeg to deny the first play. Now Psycho's going to be trying to work his way out, but he's denied, and somehow, some way, Spain find their footing in this round despite Bulgaria having the first man advantage.
But again, I mean, it's a matter of recovery, and it's actually come 2 different times in this match so far where they've had a minimal buy and been able to do some serious stuff with it. But I mean, that's just a little bit of heroics from Alex there, being able to get in their face and deny the bomb plan. That just completely makes it chaotic over at that B bomb site. They have to scramble to get the bomb down again with only 20 seconds left on the clock. The flank comes around from Arky on short, players falling back through the smoke. That's an easy kill, and then that leaves it in a 2v1, and they actually clutch that one out. So a really nice job from Spain. They're going to find their 4th round. They're going to get some money going. They're going to get some buys going. And now Kyrie, well, he's got to get away from this one. Misses the chance, misses the opportunity for that boost peak, and has to fall back in towards this A bomb site. So a little bit of long presence again from the Bulgarian side. See where they go with this one, because again, you talked about it earlier, is how they take over long and then have that swift rotate back towards that B bomb site. See if they actually commit towards the A bomb site this time, or if they want to take a little bit more bathroom control, go for a split onto the B bomb site. As that bomb is so far back by Playground and Party right now that it has yet to move its way up, and it is starting to creep towards bathrooms.
I think that's one of the beauties of Overpass, is that the rotations through connector can be so incredibly quickly. And when you have a CT team who isn't necessarily contesting with aggression, as Spain haven't really been doing, but rather playing from the sites, then this gives a lot of map control to Bulgaria, and they know it. They're very well aware. We've seen those rotations time and time again, but this time they stick to it. They're going towards the A site, and it's going to be a battle to the death as all 5 players for Bulgaria are here. Psycho and Punisher to find the first 2, and that's a lot of control as Arky also drops blinded there, just lying like a sacrificial lamb. Lowell and Alex are going to fall on backwards, of course, with those 2 M4s still in hand, trying to save it for the following round. But Bulgaria doing a very good job of just meticulously, methodically working their way through the A side of the map, right to the site, clearing it out in a mere matter of seconds without losing anybody. Taking damage in return, no doubt, but still with 5 weapons standing, it's going to be an easy reinvestment, and this one's going to be looking really good for Bulgaria as the economic reset for Spain will be a factor. But also, how many more players can they take down? You see a bit of a hunt coming in here currently from Punisher. I was going to say Psycho as well, but he's dropped. Still, Punisher able to find at least 1, and that's just going to leave the single M4 on Alex.
Does get a nice shot there. Parting gift, if you will. But they're going to continue to hunt. They want to get this rifle out of his hands. They know what kind of devastation having 1 rifle into a round can cause. Almost gets the last one. That would have been nice to take down Nicky and try to do a little bit of impact to the economy of the Bulgarian side, but again, with that being said, they've got so much money still on the Bulgarians, so it's going to be a reinvestment here from Spain. Not sure that I necessarily agree with this, but we'll see. I mean, it is coming into the late rounds of this half, so they do need to start getting some rounds on the board. But, I mean, this fast push already through. Nikki is going through Monster Pipe, already out. Alex is dead. The B-bomb site is compromised. They've got to come up huge. 4 players pushing through that Monster Pipe. And at least Lowell's able to fend this off for the time being. Psycho's encroaching, Nikki's encroaching, NK's encroaching. And that is going to be at least down to a 3v3. A little bit of a risky push there from Mink. But still, only 1-man advantage for Spain in the overall grand scheme of things. It's a 3-for-2 trade.
Yeah, that was really kind of overzealous to just jump on through the water. I understand to try to clear out the corners because obviously that's where Spain had been able to find some footing here on the B site the 2 times that they have denied it with those pistols. So I understand why he wants to clear that out, but maybe a little bit too expressed as he just jumps on over, exposing himself widely, and now giving the man advantage to Spain. Would have been one thing if they had a bit of wiggle room, but that's going to give them the chance that they needed. Soaker trying to land down a little bit of damage, but still NK doing a very good job of just dancing around the corner, preventing that from happening. 45 seconds still up on the clock, and of course the bomb is down in an exposed position. Spain does have eyes on, or at least eyes on the cross, but a little bit of rotation up towards heaven is going to leave a bit of an opening. Psycho still now managing his way onto the site. Now he's stuck. Carey going to be finding himself another one. Kyrie with a second. Very well done off the op to secure Spain another round. So that force buy that they were really relying on actually fans out in their favor, and I think that's all right because, as you mentioned, right, it is coming into the end of this half. They do need to find some more rounds onto the board, so take that bit of a gamble. Pays off for them fantastically, and they will have another gun round heading forward. But of course, Bulgaria are going to be doing the same. With the amount of consecutive rounds they've been able to win, they had a very nice amount of money in their coffers, although now it is starting to be a little bit expended. Both Nikki and Minko still sitting above that $4,000 mark, but Bulgaria's cash flow starting to find a bit of a halt.
Let's see what Arky's got here. He's just shoulder checking on that long haul, but they're getting up close and aggressive in his face. The up around the corner. They're going to have to fall back from this. They don't realize that this player is so close. The backstab could come in, but unfortunately, Mink isn't going to work that fast. It's going to take the slow route. And again, I mean, I know that I say that I didn't really agree with that force buy. It works out for him in the end, but that's mainly because Lowell, from that pole in that B-bomb site, is able to find 2 kills with that UMP.
Yeah,
If he drops straight away, that round is lost for Spain. But luckily for them, not necessarily luckily, but beneficially for them, they do find those 2 ump kills. He gets a lot of money out of that too, $1,200, so that investment on the ump pays for itself. And do pretty good into that round. Now Spain, again, they're going to go back to this triple boost on the backside by short B. And Nicky's ready for it this time.
A beautiful play by Nikki, and Nick immediately pushing into the site. He knew that that was going to be a 3-man stack, so he goes for the presence, finds another frag, and then also tags Alex down to 8 points of health. Very nice play by Nikki thus far, creating a lot of space down here towards B, dealing a lot of damage, while the bomb for Bulgaria starts to head up towards that A site. Now, Spain had rotated players down, and that's going to be to their detriment. It's only Arky trying to hold the line, while the rest of his team does now start to join forces with him up here. But the bomb planted for bathrooms after plant, and Bulgaria with a very solid amount of presence through the bathrooms. This one's going to be looking very good for them as they do head forward with 2 players on the side of Spain incredibly damaged. And again, it is going to be only Kyrie fully health trying to potentially create space. Spain, they're smarter than this. They're going to start to rotate down. They know that this investment is quite heavy on their part and still worth saving. Bulgaria doing a very good job of dealing damage towards that B site. Nikki taking the initiative, props to him. And then for the rest of the team to continue the push towards A with the bomb in hand, very nice read, because obviously Spain had rotated players downwards in an attempt to respond. So Bulgaria playing them maybe one step ahead of the game, and Spain going to be giving up another one.
Yeah, so 8 rounds now. Bulgaria is going to take a lead into the second half regardless of the outcome of these last 2 rounds, but the big news here is that they do have money for the reinvestment on the Spain side, so we'll see whether or not they're going to be able to lock this down and get themselves up to 7 rounds on the CT side, which is still a formidable half. Some people would say that this map swings a little bit towards the terrorist side.
Yeah,
it depends. I mean, when you're playing with a mix, it's typically most maps are going to end up being a little bit on the terrorist side, just because you get the freedom to do whatever it is that you want to do. You don't have to rely on teamwork necessarily as much. This time around, though, it's going to be Soaker and Lowell to find 2. Psycho was able to open up onto Kyrie. That's the off down out of the hands of the CT side, but they do get the 2-for-1 trade at the B-bomb site. And now the bomb working its way back up towards that party playground area. We'll have to see what kind of commitment comes out from Bulgaria, but at least there's an advantage for Spain going forward into this round, so they've got a little bit of a recovery to work forward.
Now, this may be a bit pedantic, but a bit of a complaint here would be that Spain are just kind of very passively holding on A site again. They've been doing this, and I understand with the man advantage, they don't want to lose that, but with the amount of time that they're giving Bulgaria, still with a minute on the clock, Bulgaria has all the time in the world to clear out long A, to clear out bathrooms, and then again potentially rotate down towards connector. You can see Punisher right now, he's trying to maybe giving a bit of attention towards the flank, just trying to keep an eye on it, and they could very well just continue this push to the A site, but the entire map is for them to play with, and Spain are going to only be relying on a hold here, as opposed to catching them with an off angle, maybe holding a corner elsewhere on the map. So Spain definitely relying on just playing the site play. Whether or not that pays off, we're going to find out. 30 seconds on the clock here as the bomb does manage to the site. Soaker with another frag, but Arky not going to be spotting the last remaining terrorist. That's NK, who's still inside the smoke. He's behind both players with the bomb in hand, 20 seconds on the clock, and he's playing this trigger discipline perfectly. Neither player has spotted him yet, and he has a read on it. There's the first hit of downing. He's not going to clear out Arky, unable to control the recoil from that AK. NK with a fantastic opportunity, but a little bit of an underwhelming execution.
That would have been a nutty clutch if he was able to get that done. It's actually a little bit of a mistake that he's able to even find himself into that kind of a position, but
yeah.
With that being said, the heroic's not going to be the case. They're going to have a little bit of a struggle by here on the terrorist side, as they don't have all rifles, they don't have the AWP in the hands of Punisher. So we'll see them try to move forward in this point, but it's looking like it's potentially an 8-7 halftime score, but they're going to go back to their old habits. They're going to work their way back in towards this B-bomb site once again on the Bulgarian side, and that's where they found their success so far in this matchup. As of right now, no damage being dealt onto either side, so it's going to be pretty standard to start things off.
Again, lots of map presence being taken by Bulgaria. They're going to clear out connector, but it doesn't seem to be working at least. Spain doing a very good job of holding the sites. Alex grabs the double frag. Soaker going to be finding one and then trading out NK after he does find a bit of a response for the side of the Bulgarians, but not very much for Nicky to work with. It's 1 versus 4, and he's going to be forced to push on through the fire and the flames to the headshot of Alex. Going to be 7-8 final score. Spain doing a very good job of finding some footing in those last 6 rounds, taking 4 of the 6. Really, the success of Bulgaria coming through that spree of 5 victories, and during that time, they actually switched up between the A and B site. No point in that 5 successful rounds was it a consecutive win on the same site. And I think that kind of pays respect to the map control Bulgaria were able to secure from Spain, because their rotations in the last few bits of the round were always on point. Or they could go for the push at the very last bits of the round, knowing that the defense had no information on their positioning. I think that success from Bulgaria really did come down from Spain just holding sites as opposed to the map control. But in the end, they managed to find their footing, they make it work, and do a decent job of coming back into this one, heading forward into their T side.
Yeah, they actually had an opportunity at the beginning of this map to have a tremendous CT side half, but we're just going to rocket right into the pistol round here. And Spain going to get a 2-for-1 trade here in connector. Alex going to find a third, and they're not done just yet. Psycho caught out. He's going to have to fall all the way back towards that A bomb site as the pain train is on its way towards his bomb site. And he's going to be able to get one, looking for more, not going to be able to get it. Wide peeks out, and it's down to NK versus 3. And NK is on the site right now, but it's going to be a big ask for him to be able to even find one. And Alex is going to be able to finish that off. 2 kills on the round for Alex, 2 kills on the round for Kyrie, 1 for Lowell. And that will be the tie score, 8-8. So Spain answers the call, and they're going to be able to find that pistol round victory. Now, the question is, do they get eco'd?
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened to Bulgaria. And surprisingly enough, the Bulgarian side doesn't go for any kind of upgrades. They just pick up 1 pistol.
I think that just goes to show that this is a very different Bulgarian team than what we're used to. When they're playing with the roster, or at least the 3 players from MK, these guys will have some of the most aggressive purchasing routines ever. I've seen them by round 3 after losing the first 2, just because the moment they think that they have a bit of an opening versus their opponent, they will try to take it. And this time, Bulgaria not even grabbing Kevlar pistol. This is a very different decision, I think, but still could very well pan out. Maybe just looking for some frags, trying to get themselves to the gun rounds, and not looking to lose much here. But Soaker finding the first one, that's going to kind of cement the bit of dominance that Spain are already asserting across the bathrooms, but they will have to keep an eye out on their flank, as Minko has managed to work his way around, and the trigger discipline again for Bulgaria, this time not going to fan out. Kyrie with another frag, and now it's going to be a 2-man up for the side of Spain. Bulgaria not finding anything here thus far.
Yeah, but this is good for Spain. They're going to need to stabilize early. NK on the backside of the truck, though. They're coming around from the back lines. They're going to be able to find two. That's that unsilenced USP. All right, doing a little work. I hadn't actually heard the unsilenced USP sound, so that's a new one for me. And it sounds awful. Thank you,
I was
Val.
taken off guard by it as well.
I thought it was a P250 at first because of the sound. It almost
Yeah.
sounds like a P250, but the unsilenced USP, you're going to find two kills. Why not? Why not?
Why not? Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Keep it rolling. I mean, that's
Yeah.
at least, I guess, the silver lining in the round for Bulgaria. They do kind of deal down some damage in what looked like almost a flawless round for the side of Spain. So that bomb plant, the committing to it without clearing out long is what fans out for the side of Bulgaria. But again, it's just going to be pistols this round. So Spain looking to deal some damage, looking to make some cash. Really, that MAC-10 on Lowell is going to be a great opportunity for them if he can find himself in the right position. And he is going to be facing off versus Nicky, who's playing contact towards the bottom of the connector. A B stack currently for the side of Bulgaria's 4 players sit there, and that's the MAC-10 down. Now, it's not going to be a rifle acquired for the side of the counter-terrorists, but still, at least a piece of weaponry. One small piece of a very large puzzle, as Spain does start to push out towards A. They're working their way to the site, but slowly, giving time for Bulgaria to actually put defenders on it, as they had gone for only a B stack out the gates.
So they are down one player. Nicky does have that MAC-10, so doing a little bit of work. Punisher's going to get spotted out, but he's going to also spot all of these players coming in. And it's a stack on this A bomb site. Nice shot from Soaker. Spots another one. That's NK on the bomb site. Going to be able to sweep around, find Punisher. Looking for another one. Going to find NK in the smoke. Where are you at? There it is. Okay. Nick's going to finally peek out. Gets taken down by Arky. And that's going to leave it on Nicky. Boom goes the dynamite. There it is. A nice recovery from Spain after losing one in the beginning of the round. We are going to launch into our first full gun round here, but it's going to be 4 AKs and a Galil with a full arsenal of nades. Every single player on that Spain side has all the nades that they want, head armor to go with it. And if you look at the buy on the CT side, it's a little bit more of a struggle. Mink does manage to get the op, no utility behind it, body armor, no head armor. Not that that's really that big of a deal. P90 for Nicky for the sake of getting a little bit more utility. Would have liked to see maybe a FAMAS, as they are the same price. Or maybe a UMP to get, you know, a little bit more out of the round.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
that's
At least
my
an
take
ump.
on it. Yeah,
But
if you ask some of the,
gonna
some
go
of the
for an
North
SMG.
American coaches, yeah, I guess, I mean, close quarters with the P90 can be pretty detrimental, but if you're going to do that, you might as well get the ump for the extra money bonus. Plus, it's got the armor pin, 2 shots to the head, even on an armored player, is going to kill them close range. And if you ask some of the coaches in the North American scene, I know GB James is a big advocate for this. I know Garrett's a big advocate for this. If you're going to be picking up an SMG into a round, or if you're going to be spending, you know, the money on a P90, either buy a FAMAS or buy an ump. P90 should never be on the battlefield. That's just their personal take on it. I kind of agree, because if you're going to be on
no, I
that,
can
then
definitely
get the
see that
firepower
dialogue.
of the rifle or get the money bonus of the SMG.
Yeah, I'll subscribe to that narrative. I'm a big fan of the ump as well. It's clean,
Yeah.
it's easy to recoil control, nice and close and personal. Maybe a little bit less side on the T side, so if anything, maybe a P90 push there, but again, questionable. That Galil's still in the hands of Soaker. I like to see that. Make some headshots. Hopefully it doesn't pay off to his detriment. But very much not invested into this round, Spain. They do have some sorts of utility, but not enough to go for the fake volley and then the rotate down towards B, and they don't have the time for it either if they wanted. I mean, we had a good chance to talk about the ump strat, and already it's still only taking the bathroom control with 20 seconds up here. Bulgaria trying to toe the line. It's going to be Minko with the first one, landing that op shot as Punisher does the same towards bathroom, but trading back for the side of Spain is both Kyrie and Alex. And now the bomb making its way to the site, thinking about going for the plant. Alex securing the bathroom control, but Kyrie's still not able to get the bomb in, and now there's only 5 seconds left on the clock. The CTs, Bulgaria, doing a fantastic job of holding the site control and giving Lowell absolutely no opportunity to go for that plant, to get those frags. They rotate Psycho away, and that's Bulgaria just doing a very good job of penalizing Spain for burning down the clock, as opposed to playing that one a little bit more fast.
Yeah, but again, it's 10-9 now, the scoreline. Bulgaria able to answer back with one, and back onto a P90 for Nicky again. And again, I still just disagree with this purchase, but obviously I'm not in the head of the players. It didn't work out for him last round. Didn't get a single opportunity at a kill. But not a bad round there from the Bulgarian side. Losing that bomb late in that round really cost them, so burning that clock down. Probably going to go for a little bit more of an accelerated strat this time around. They might still burn the clock down a little bit, but they'll probably get their execute as around 40 seconds as opposed to... Well, no, they're going to go down. Minute 30.
Yep, they decided to make the play, and 3 frags going their way already. That P90 only finding 1, so it's going to be up to Minko to try to hold from water, and he does drop the bomb carrier. The bomb now down inside the water, That's going to be at least a bit of a delay before it is activated, but Punisher, the last man standing, sitting at a 1v3. He has spotted the carrier, and another frag. The bomb dropping down to the water. He's created space, but the re-peek in a situation that he maybe could have just waited. Kyrie waiting for it, reads it like a book. Spain with another round, and now a 2-point lead. So an economic reset following the very first rifle round, or rifle victory for Bulgaria. That was looking good, considering that considering that Spain had 3 of the first 4 rounds because of that round 2 eco win. They were looking already hot because coming into this one, Bulgaria needed to find more gun rounds since they had the lackluster pistol start. But now already being reset, it's a difficult spot to be in. So they'll try to pick up the pace going up towards Fountain, already pushing with 3 players, but Spain patiently lying in wait will capitalize with the first 2 opening frags and a third at that. Soaker finding another with Alex clearing out Connector, leaving just NK as the last man standing. Hot on the heels of Alex, he'll find a frag and an MP7 in return. A decent fruit for his labors, but still 1v4, and Spain are just going to start to pick up the pace of this one. Charge up the Octane, head out towards that A site. Bomb in the back line, almost caught out, but NK missing the timing ever so slightly. Spain will just congregate themselves together, play as a unit.
They're
Definitely
watching for
secure
this
this
too.
round.
Look at how many players are just sitting by party right now. They actually move away just in the nick of time. And 4x3 just screwed Lowell, so he didn't actually see NK come up from the stairs. If he was on 16x9, he would have actually seen his head come up from that side, but he's still watching this. He's going to be able to spot him, gets the headshot anyway. And something to note for you viewers at home, I don't know, I know that they touched on the veto process during the pregame, but for those of you that are tuning in now, because we only had, I think, 800 people during pregame, we're up to about 2,600 viewers right now, which is pretty awesome that you guys are coming out and supporting your teams. This map pick is actually Bulgaria's map pick, so the Bulgarians can't win this one. It's going to be definitely difficult going into the next one, which will be Cash, and then our decider is going to be Cobblestone if we do go 3 maps, but at this pace, Bulgaria is going to need to have a big performance on Cash because it looks like they might lose their map pick.
Spain playing another very methodical round, just holding back. I mean, obviously this paid out into their favor. The previous one as the pistol push was shut down on towards Fountain. This time it will be the bottom of Connector where the pistols do die, but at least tagging up Alex down to 13 points of health, laying down some damage, trying to keep Spain on their toes. But Bulgaria, again, their economy, it's just not what's working against them, and they need to come into this one with the next rifle round and start to put rounds up, because Spain getting this close to victory already gives them very little wiggle room moving forward. Very little margin of error will be allowed without being penalized heavily. And Bulgaria now, Minko pushing up through bottom of Connector. He's going to nail the timing. Soaker had just left, and as he does return, he finds a pistol shot to the face. So the AK retrieved here for the flank of the players here. Spain losing men as they try to push out towards the B site into the 2v2. Both players incredibly lit, but Kyrie going to be doing a good job of at least securing the bomb site for the time being. Punisher rotating on forward. They might not expect him to be in the smoke as he does pick up the AK, but Alex keeping eyes on it, not wanting to get pushed through. Kyrie with the re-smoke, going to be buying more time for Bulgaria, or excuse me, Spain. Bulgaria pushing through now. Kyrie doesn't catch it as he reloads that pistol. All of a sudden, this looks very good for Punisher. All he needs to do is find a single shot to connect, but Alex trying to buy time, holding on back. No kit, so Punisher going to have to stick for the full 10 seconds, but try to find the engagement here. He won't as Alex rotates all the way out towards short water. Punisher has a read on this, though. Tapping it again. Alex is going to have to go for this if he wants to check it. Wow.
Aim punch.
Aim punch. Playing a huge factor. Punisher not able to find it, and suddenly Spain from a very precarious position to putting another round up.
And that, again, I mean, that's another recovery there. Bulgaria had an opportunity with Punisher being on very high health in that situation, but unfortunately for him, he's going to come around the corner. He's going to get knocked down. And another round for Spain. So 13-9, 3 rounds away from closing out map number 1. And Bulgaria has put up a fight, more of a fight than I necessarily anticipated them doing, but it's definitely been a little bit of a close match, a little bit back and forth, and Mank getting shoulder checked by Soaker. He's going to have to fall all the way back off of this. He went full aggression with that AWP all the way up towards Party. And luckily, he didn't get punished for that, so he's going to hang on to that for the rest of the round. And we'll see whether or not Spain decides to go back towards this B bomb site where they've had a little bit of success so far, or if they're going to mob mentality onto A. And you can see Arky kind of lurking over here at B. The bomb is over into Connector, right outside of T spawn. So a little bit of a slow play from Spain, but I like the call. No need to go accelerated. They know that it's going to be a buy round. They know that there's going to be a little bit of difficulty moving forward into this one, so we'll see how they decide to play it.
Left on the clock, 4 players for Spain heading out towards Monster. So again, just taking this map control and preparing themselves for the push, but Bulgaria doing a good job of spreading themselves and a bit of presence out here towards Bathroom. That's going to be good because they have eyes on towards the top of Connector. Spotting the Shadow Punisher with a chance to take down Soaker, but he does manage to just parkour his way around into cover. At least just keeping up the pressure, finding the attention of the Bulgarians here towards A site, preventing the rotation, but the frag does go the way of Punisher now as Arky pushes forward. He's spamming all over the place, and he does find one as Kyrie holds his corner, clearing out the second player from the B site. This is going to force Bulgaria onto the rotation down. Nicky doing a good job when he comes through the smoke to find one. Arky able to trade it back, though, maintaining that one-man advantage. Another nice little cheeky boost down here over the wall, trying to find the bomb planter, but he's just going to be holding it Lowell, not giving up any sort of opportunity, as Punisher does find the first frag towards the back of Monster. The verticality of that position fanning out, but it does come down to clearing Arky from water and then the player on site. Arky going to be finding his first headshot, the second to take down Minko. He will help out Lowell finding the frag itself. So Spain doing a good job of securing the bomb plant, keeping the man advantage in their favor, and closing it out off of that one. Bulgaria in a dangerous position as Spain are only 2 rounds away from victory.
Yeah, and this is where it gets a little bit scary here for the Bulgarian side. They're going to force into this one. They're going to have no money into the final round. Not sure I necessarily agree with this force. Granted, it is on tie point. They'd give up match point if they did go for the save, but they've got barely any utility into this round. They've got minimal firepower that they can have into this round. And again, this is the situation where do you pick up a FAMAS or do you pick up a UMP? How close of an angle are you playing? A UMP can be detrimental on a close angle, whereas the FAMAS still takes 2 shots to the head to kill somebody regardless. So we'll have to see. Mink coming under fire here early outside of Bathrooms towards the long haul. Flashbang goes out, Mink is blind, Mink is dead. So the advantage goes the way of Spain to start this one off, and the rotation coming in towards that A bomb site. You can see they've got a little bit of a flank play here from Punisher. Might be able to catch somebody out as all 5 players are coming around from long A on Spain. This is going to be an interesting take in towards this A bomb site.
Getting aggressive, taking the initiative to find the first one. Soaker able to trade it back just through the small gap of that smoke. But again, as you mentioned, everyone for Spain out here towards long A, and there's still 50 seconds if they want to kind of disengage or at least try to come from a multi-angled assault. But currently that flank that was being kind of instrumentalized by Punisher, he's given up on actually taking the fight through Bathrooms, instead just wanting to be a little bit closer towards the A site, as he does have the support of NK from the back of Dumpster, but now they're rotating back towards B or thinking about it. Bulgaria not necessarily sure as to where their opponents are. The 30 seconds left on the clock is currently being played by Spain to just make a bit of a question mark. Bulgaria not having much map presence other than Punisher being pushed up through Bathrooms. He has a bit of a mind or an idea, or I guess an assumption as to what's happening on A site, but now with the volley of nades, he's gonna get this confirmation. They were still sitting long, patiently holding the line, and now making their way onto the site. So Punisher with a first engagement, finding the frag, but traded back. Soaker again doing a very good job here with another one as NK drops. 3v1, Soaker tagged with a 4K in the round, and he's looking for the ace. He's done a very good job for his team thus far, but Lowell clears it up to give Spain another round.
Yeah, this has been all Alex and Soaker, really. I mean, 26 and 12 for Alex, 23 and 16 for Soaker. Kyrie's in the mix with that AWP, getting 18 kills. Lowell down at 17 and Arky at 14. And you look at the other side, and it's Mink that's kind of holding back. I mean, NK and Psycho have had a pretty quiet match as well. And that's just a testament to how much of an impact that some of these Spanish players have been having into these rounds. I mean, we saw a 4K from Lowell early. We saw a 4K from Soaker in that last round. We've seen a 4K from, I believe it was Alex. So everybody getting in the mix, everybody having a big impact. But this time around, they're going to push in towards this B bomb site, and they're going to get completely mowed down. So a nice late game stand from Bulgaria, trying to get a little bit going for themselves, but as of right now, it is a.
Now we saw something like this yesterday, Mega Man, versus that game on I believe it was on Cobblestone between Estonia. Someone else.
Oh, where it's like they get up the match and it's like, oh,
yeah, and then
we're
they
just
go
gonna
for
start
like
getting some rounds now.
push. And I mean, in that round, Alex
Oh,
runs through
yeah,
fire.
yeah.
He runs through fire, his teammates are smoked off, and yet he still tries to just force the issue onto the B site. Bulgaria, even with the disadvantage buy, they will welcome a play like that with open arms. They're able to grab 3 frags in it. They're currently holding a 2-man advantage with the bomb also secured with ease. They've got a player up towards A to just watch their flank, and they're looking really good right now. So Spain, again, they've done a very good job at getting to 15. They've been in full control of the T side round, but we saw them playing a very slow, methodic round out towards A in the previous time with an advantage. Now this time they come into it 5 versus 5, and they try to push the envelope towards the B site. Slightly questionable, but now still Lowell going to be making at least a bit of waves. Minko going to be able to refrag back, and now Nicky clearing things out. But Bulgaria with a round that arguably they should have never won.
Yeah, with their limited firepower and everything, but again, it's the mistake from Spain, going for that fast, aggressive push in towards that B-bomb site. But it took me a second to get the references you were putting down from the Estonian match last night, but that was just because I forgot that was the eco round, rush B, nade stack onto the back B platform. Yeah, caught that one on that one. Caught that one. All right, so 15 plays 10 right now. Is Spain going to have that 5-round lead? Looking to put this one to bed. It's still a limited firepower for the Bulgarian side as Punisher on the UMP, but at least he's on a UMP. He's listening. Good aggression from Mink. Going to be able to push out. Finds the opener. Still has more players around the corner here at long A. Punisher those two. Here's that close angle. There's the UMP, and unfortunately not able to get it done. Tries to trade out for his teammate, but he does get punished for it in the long run, and it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade over there at the A bomb site. And already the terrorist side pushing aggressively towards A. One player lurking on long, that's Nikki. One player in that A bomb site rotating up, that's going to be Psycho, but they're going to get there before him. And this is going to put it into a very difficult situation. He can see through the smoke, but jumping up, he's going to get spotted. So he's going to
be playing that bomb as well now. So manages to get through the fire. 16 points of health still left, but again, it's going to be the flank from Nikki. Not going to be panning out. Lowell finding the reading, finding the time. And suddenly Bulgaria in a very sticky situation. 2 versus 4, but 2 players are also tagged for the side of Spain. This one could be made possible. Bulgaria, with only a flashbang now left as the frag goes out, tagging up a 3rd player. They just need to find the angles and the proper engagements, but Soker finding the first one's going to make it a little bit harder, and Psycho going down will give the first map to Spain.
Yeah, so they're going to walk away with this one 16-10. We're going to throw it back over to our analyst desk so they can break that one down. The next map that we're going to be seeing in this best of 3 is going to be Cash, which will be Spain's pick. So Spain stealing away one off Bulgaria. George,